Well, hello. We had a hiccup yesterday. I did the lecture yesterday using GoToMeeting recorded. And unfortunately, the recording, I looked at the diagnostics and everything about it. It said it was all good. It was an hour and 20 minutes. And it has never become available for me to upload to you. So as I said in my announcement, I'm going back to the old way. Now I'm sitting at my desk in my office right now, and so for now I think the slides, the PowerPoints that I'm going to put this video in should suffice to allow you to see all the visuals that you need. We'll see. Maybe I'll move to the lab, but for right now, I'm just trying to get this thing done and uploaded so that you have something to work with. All right, so the first thing we talk about in chapter 3 is going to have to do with cells. Up to now, we've been talking about the chemistry of life. And as part of that chemistry of life, we had talked about the 4 biological macromolecules. And now we're shifting gears just a little bit. We're getting bigger and bigger. This is human anatomy, remember? So we're starting from atoms to chemicals to cells. And before you know it, we're going to be talking about actual anatomy. Anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. So what is a cell, and what is the significance of a cell? And what it is it's the smallest unit of life that exhibits all characteristics of life. And all life is made up of cells. So we have this thing called the cell theory, and you'll see this video is on that page. So we have the cell theory of life, and the very first point of that is that all living things are composed of cells. The second point of that is that all cells come from previously existing cells. They reproduce themselves. Finally, I already said it in my sort of overall description of the cell theory, but the final point is that all metabolism, all of the processes of life happen within the cell. So when we talk about cells, and we can make reference, we got those things that we're wearing. Why are we wearing those? We're wearing those because of a virus. Now, are viruses alive? By the cell theory, no, they are not. Why? So first of all, what was the first point? The first point was that all living things are composed of cells. Viruses are not composed of cells. They have a coat around the outside and some kind of genetic material on the inside. That's all. Nothing else. And so we said, okay, so they don't fulfill that requirement of the cell theory. What about reproduces themselves? After all, we got a lot of them out there. Nope, they don't reproduce themselves. What they do is they go into your nose and they bind to a receptor, a very specific receptor in your nose, and their genetic material is taken into that cell, and that cell produces more viruses. So the cell, the host cell, makes the viruses. Okay, so what about that last point, the final point of the cell theory? All the metabolisms, all of the processes of life occur inside. They don't do that either. The host cell does everything. All a virus is a capsule around the outside and some genetic material inside. They do nothing for themselves. So, all right. Now, we're going to continue talking. I'm going to stop right here and then change the page over here on my computer. It's right next to me that I'm sort of keeping an eye on to monitor my progress. And we'll be back for the next installment.